Okay, good morning everyone. Today I'm going to present this title, to fully define or not to fully define a sketch. And my name is Javen, and I'm an application engineer from CAD Vision. So thanks for attending this webinar session. Okay, so for the topics today, I'll cover 2D sketching, sketch entities, sketch definitions, which is overdefined, underdefined, or some sort of thing like defined. So, and another thing is sketch types, and lastly, sketch relations. Okay. So, what is 2D sketching? So, why use 2D sketch? As for information, you can see over the picture. So to use 2D sketch, basically we need to use it on a plane. So I'll show you how in SolidWorks. So let's go to SolidWorks and create a new document. And then from here you see 3 planes from this feature manager. 3. Okay. So to create a sketch, you need to select a plane and then click for sketch. Okay. And then let's do some sketching. So try a circle. So you see here it is blue color. Okay. The sketch line is in blue color, and then you see a negative sign over here on the left side of the sketch 1. So how do we make this into black color and try to avoid this negative sign? Okay, so for the negative sign, it stands for underdefined. Okay, so underdefined, and then to make it defined, you have to use smart dimension. This is one way around. Okay, so let's put some dimension. Okay, so we got it. It is fully defined now. So what if you try to get some dimension in again? Okay, you make this sketch overdefined. So for overdefined, you get the plus sign right beside the sketch 1 and a exclamation mark. So you don't want this to happen, and then just back to the sketch and delete dimension. Okay. So this is how we start a new sketch, and what is underdefined, overdefined, and fully defined. Okay. So now I go through with the sketch entities. So what are sketch entities? So from here you can see line, corner, rectangle, slot, polygon, circle, and ellipse, and lastly spline. I'll show you one by one. Okay. So let's start a new sketch again. So basically line is like this. Okay. So we call this sketch geometry. Okay, we call this sketch geometry, and then we call these sketch entities. So basically we need to select the sketch entities and then make a sketch geometry. Okay, and for your information, every time you make a sketch entity, okay, every time you select a sketch entity to create a sketch geometry, you see it is underdefined. Okay, As for the circle sketch entity, you get a circle sketch geometry. And then for the rectangle, you can select many kind of rectangle entities. You go with corner rectangle, and let's see what is that. Okay, so you get this. So for center rectangle, you get some sort of thing like the rectangle is formed from the center, and then this is a tangent arc. Okay, so you try 3-point arc. Okay, this is the arc, and then you try ellipse. So basically we use ellipse to form oval shape geometry, and then this is slot, and lastly polygon. Okay, and as you can see here, all the sketch geometry is underdefined. So how do you make one of these to be fully defined? So let's try. So which one is better? Underdefined, fully defined, or overdefined sketch? So for information, underdefined sketch will cause major problem when changes must be made. So as for the fully defined, a fully defined sketch updates are more predictable if you constantly change your design. So let's say if you got a lot of in context design, which means your design is based on many relations externally, a fully defined sketch is the most desirable one. So what is overdefined sketch? Okay, the overdefined sketch is you got several relations to define the sketch, and it is overdefined, and you get error because of the overlapping relations. So let's go back to SolidWorks and have a look. Okay, so to define a rectangle, you try to use relation. Okay, perpendicular. Or you can try to use equal. And fix it. So this is a unpleasant way of defining a sketch. Okay, so let's try with the better way. So we'll use smart dimension to make sure you have the dimension we need. So this is one of the way to define a rectangle. Another way is to have the dimension and then use a equal relation. Okay, you can see here the sketch is not fully defined yet because it is not fixed to the origin yet. So we'll try to use this relation. Horizontal. Okay, you can try to move the rectangle and it's still moving from left to right. So let's try this. And now the sketch is fully defined. So another way to define a sketch is to use the function which is proposed by SolidWorks. You can always go to Tools and then Dimension and move down and look for fully defined sketch. So basically these two will help you to define a sketch automatically. So let's select and then just tick yes, and you see it's defined by SolidWorks. And you can always change the dimension later on. So let's make it 25. So there you go, you have it. And then as you can see this sketch, okay, I'll tell you what is solver. So basically go to Tools and Sketch Setting, try to uncheck Automatic Solve, and now we try to move the sketch. You'll notice that the sketch cannot be dragged because of the automatic solve mode is off. Okay. This is to make sure that you don't drag your sketch accidentally. So now we can go back to automatic solve and turn on again and try to drag the sketch, and now it's moving. Okay, now let's dimension this thing. And then try to over dimension this thing. I'll show you how to correct the problem with you over dimension. Okay, now you're having trouble with this sketch. So let's say you can't find the problem. So what do? The solution is to go to Sketch Tool and then right click to see what's wrong. If what's wrong, you see that the sketch is over-defined, consider deleting some over-defining dimensional variation. Okay. So let's edit this sketch and then try to use Sketch Express. Sorry, Sketch Expert, and then use the diagnose tool and look for the problem. So you can always scroll down to results and then click next one by one to see which solution is the most desirable. So we'll choose to delete. So we choose to use solution 5 and then accept. And now click OK, you get the correct sketch. So as said earlier, a fully defined sketch update are more predictable. Okay. And then again, now I'll show you how to define a spline. So let's say you got this spline, and then how to make sure you have some dimension and you have some variation in this spline to make sure it's more predictable in changes. So click on this spline line and then you see this cursor. So click on this dot, and then the dot is in polygon shape. Let's go to add relation. So try to add horizontal and move it, vertical, and then horizontal to make sure your spline is more predictable. Okay. This cursor will be unable to move up and down because you already constrain a horizontal variation towards this. Okay. So as for the last point, try to use vertical as well. So this is how we define a spline. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for attending, and now is the Q&A section. If you got any question, you can just type in on the sketch, on the chat session. So for further question, you can always drop an email to me on javen@CAD/vision.com. So thank you for attending, and thanks for your time.